Lethbridge School Division is pleased to present the 2025-2026 to 2027-2028 three-year capital plan. This plan provides some of the information used to demonstrate the need for future new school construction and modernizations and highlights some of the projects that will be submitted in the capital plan to Alberta Education for future funding approval. So why do school divisions prepare a capital plan? School divisions are required to submit a three-year capital plan to Alberta Education by April 1st each year. The capital plan is the school division's business case to convince Alberta Education of the need to invest capital funding in new school construction to address enrollment growth pressures or provide funding to modernize a school that may no longer be meeting functionality and programming needs, or to address building conditions, enrollment pressures, or health and safety concerns. Although all projects submitted are needed, school divisions are required to rank their projects by priority in the capital plan. This is often a very difficult task. Lethbridge School Division serves approximately 12,300 students from early learning to grade 12 and has 21 school facilities that we manage, which include 13 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, and 4 high schools. The division also has 3 Christian schools. However, these school buildings are owned and operated by their societies. 57% of Lethbridge School Division schools are over 50 years old. A new kindergarten to grade 5 school, West Cooley Station Elementary School, will welcome students in September 2025. When considering whether or not to request a new school, there are a number of project drivers to consider. One of the key factors is the pace of community development. Community development will influence enrollment growth in a sector of the city. For instance, for the last number of years, and expected into the future, West Lethbridge has the most planned community growth. The City of Lethbridge future land use map shows in yellow planned future development, and as you can see, there is development in all areas of the city, but West Lethbridge has the most planned future development. Along with future development, the division looks at new housing data to see the types of housing that is being constructed. This information helps inform the impact on future enrollment growth. For example, the 2021 Canada Census map to the right shows the area around Mike Mountain Horse as having 822 new housing starts in the period 2016 to 2021. This information helped to inform the necessity for a new K-5 school in the north end of West Lethbridge. As a result, West Cooley Station Elementary School will open its doors in September 25 to address the growth pressure that Mike Mountain Horse was experiencing, as well as to address planned future growth for the development areas of Geary Station and Country Meadows. Most recent data shows that there was 715 new housing starts in Lethbridge between 2023 and 2024. This is a 194% increase. Most notably, this increase was primarily in multifamily housing. There is 443 new multifamily housing units, which was a 169% increase over 2023. An increase in multifamily housing also increases a community's density, and this may result in increased school-aged children in a community. The division looks to the future when determining the need for new schools. Population data from the City of Lethbridge, along with the Province of Alberta, is used to provide information on how the city might grow in population into the future. The City of Lethbridge has had steady population growth in the past and will continue to see growth continue into the future between 1.2% and 1.7% per year until 2050. The city has a current population of 111,400 in 2024, and it is expected to grow to 116,700 by 2030 and 169,600 by 2050. The province of Alberta also shows steady population growth into the future and also highlights the growth by sector of the city. Going out to 2050, province of Alberta population projections show that most of the growth will be in West Lethbridge at 42%, which correlates with the future land use maps we showed a few slides back. North Lethbridge is estimated to grow by 28% and South Lethbridge by 20% to 2050. With some of the current schools at instructional space that already exceeds core school facilities, and with future anticipated growth, there is a need for new school facilities now and into the future. When Lethbridge School Division estimates enrollment for the upcoming school year, we take a very conservative approach. Based on data from software used to predict enrollment, the division expected to see relatively flat enrollment in the 2025-26 school year. However, when data from the City of Lethbridge and the Province of Alberta is applied to this information, we should see future enrollment growth to September 2027 of around 0.6% per year. This will take enrollment for the 2027 to 2028 school year to approximately 12,800 students and in 28-29 to approximately 13,000 students. When determining the need for new school facilities, future growth by level is considered, along with current school utilization and growth in that sector of the city. The chart that you see on the screen shows that the growth will be greatest at middle school, followed by high school. Overall enrollment will grow by 4.3% to 2007 to 2008, with the south sector being the fastest growing at 5.54%. It is important to note that this growth is due to growth attributed to high school students in West Lethbridge that are transported to LCI for high school. Middle school, followed by high school, experienced the most significant growth at almost 11% and 6% into 2027. An interesting statistic comparing total instructional space as compared to core spaces in a school. Core spaces are areas such as gymnasium, hallways, gathering spaces, offices, learning commons, and ancillary spaces in a school. When modular classrooms are added to a school, the core space does not increase, but the instructional space increases. As more students are added to the instructional space, it may cause these core spaces to become not as functional. The division currently has 125% instructional space to core space, while our core utilization is at 90%. Overall utilization, counting all our spaces, is 73%. This chart shows some of our recent new school builds and illustrates the time from including the project in the capital plan to approval and then date of opening the school. Currently in construction, our latest school project, West Cooley Station Elementary, was requested starting in 2008, and we received approval 13 years later. In general, it takes about 3 years to plan, design, and construct a school. West Cooley Station Elementary will open with capacity for 600 students and has the ability to grow to 900 students with the addition of modular classrooms. Most recently, a new K-5 school in the south end of West Lethbridge has received planning funds to begin the process to find a suitable school site and start planning activities. This school appeared for the first time in last year's capital plan. Whenever a new school is constructed, new school boundaries need to be created to assign students to the new school and take pressure off existing schools. The Board of Trustees undertook an extensive boundary review process last year, and new boundaries were created for West Lethbridge Elementary Schools. This boundary change allowed for the adjustment to Mike Mountain Horse Elementary School boundaries and to alleviate enrollment pressure off of Coalbanks Elementary School with the relocation of the Spanish bilingual program to the new West Cooley Station Elementary School. This chart shows the path to project funding from Alberta Education. As you can see, the modernization of Galbraith Elementary School has proceeded along this path. This project started with pre-planning funding in 2021, planning funding in 2023, and now design funding as of 2024. Once design is completed, approval will be sought to move to the construction phase for the Galbraith Elementary School modernization. Funding has recently been approved for the pre-planning of the modernization of LCI, which is the #1 modernization priority in this capital plan. Funding was also announced with Budget 2025 for the planning funds for a new K-5 elementary school in the south end of West Lethbridge. The division was excited to receive the 2 recent funding announcements. These announcements were influenced by studies conducted that supported the division's capital plan. The West Side study demonstrated the impact on future growth on our schools in West Lethbridge, particularly in light of many modular classrooms that have been placed on these schools to provide additional instructional spaces as communities continue to develop in the fastest developing sector of the city. This study recommended a new 900 K-5 elementary school and a new 2100 student grade 9 to 12 high school for the south end of West Lethbridge. The LCI accessibility audit that was conducted in the fall of 2024 highlights the need for a modernization of LCI based on the significant accessibility improvements required for the school. The report highlighted accessibility challenges that included multiple stairs, steep slopes on pathways, insufficient accessible washrooms, and wayfinding challenges. Both studies will will be submitted to Alberta Education and are appended to the capital plan submission to support the top 3 requests in the capital plan. This 3-year capital plan requests 3 new schools for Lethbridge School Division, 2 in West Lethbridge and 1 in North Lethbridge. Due to significant growth in West Lethbridge and planned future development, a new 2,100 student grade 9 to 12 high school is needed for the south end of West Lethbridge. Currently, Chinook High School has core capacity of 147% and is estimated there'll be growth of an additional 1,200 high school students in the future. Additionally, approximately 500 students are attending LCI in South Lethbridge due to growth and capacity concerns in West Lethbridge. Constructing a new high school in West Lethbridge will not only support future enrollment growth, but will save on transportation costs and reduce the enrollment pressure on LCI. Having these 500 students back in West Lethbridge will support some of the logistical concerns that can occur with a school modernization. The City of Lethbridge is currently working on identifying a suitable school site for this project. As stated previously, a new 900-student K-5 elementary school has received planning funds to start site investigation and readiness activities. This school is being requested to address future growth in the south end of West Lethbridge. Both Coalbanks and Dr. Proby experience pressure on their schools due to high core utilization. The City of Lethbridge is currently investigating an appropriate site for this new school. Once a site has been identified, site readiness activities can be undertaken. This school has been requested since 2008 in the capital plan. Although future growth is not expected to be as significant in North Lethbridge as West Lethbridge, there are areas of future growth planned for North Lethbridge. Most recently, there has also been increased development of multifamily dwellings that increase the population density in this sector of the city. As a result, a new 600-student K-5 school is requested in the north end of the city, in the area of the currently developing community of Blackwolf. As a recap, the division is requesting approximately $132 million in new school projects that will address enrollment growth pressures in both West Lethbridge and North Lethbridge. South Lethbridge opened Dr. Robert Plaxton Elementary School in 2023 to address enrollment pressures in the south side of the city. After many years of requests in the capital plan, Galbraith Elementary School, the division's oldest school at 113 years old, is well underway with the modernization. The school is currently in schematic design, and once completed, a crust will be made to proceed to full construction. There are 14 schools that have been requested for modernization in this capital plan. When considering a school for modernization, a number of drivers are considered. These include health and safety, accessibility, building condition, program delivery, utilization, and infrastructure performance. School facility conditions were examined and modernization rankings prioritized by the Facilities Committee. Modernization priority was elevated to those schools that did not have adequate accessibility to all parts of the school. The Lethbridge Collegiate Institute, or LCI, is the #1 modernization priority due to aging infrastructure, accessibility challenges, and the school does not meet functionality needs. LCI has a core utilization of 124%, while instructional to core spaces is at 175%. There is approximately 500 students who attend LCI from West Lethbridge, which further puts pressure on that school facility. I would now like to provide a little more detail about a few of the modernizations that have been requested within the 3-year capital plan period. Lethbridge Collegiate Institute, that sits #1 on the list, requires a major modernization due to the size and configuration of the school. The school has had 3 additions in its lifetime and is in good condition, however, is a maze of building and learning spaces that currently do not meet the needs of a contemporary high school setting. The school also does not have sufficient structure to address accessibility concerns in many parts of the building, including barrier-free washroom facilities that are needed. In the last 4 years, approximately $5 million has been spent to upgrade the infrastructure, such as mechanical, electrical, and ventilation, and much more is needed. The school needs to be re-envisioned with new learning spaces and a new gymnasium. We are fortunate to have received the news that we will receive pre-planning funds for LCI. Due to the complexity of this particular project, this funding will allow for a feasibility review of the requirements needed for a modernization of the school. Although Senator Buchanan and Westminster received upgrades a few years ago, they do not have an elevator to access the second floor. The modernization request will ensure there is accessibility to all learning spaces in these schools. Gilbert Patterson Middle School is experiencing enrollment growth pressure and is in need of an addition alongside a modernization. The school also has challenges for accessing learning spaces within the school. The Facilities Committee recognized the need to make sure our schools are inclusive learning spaces and prioritize modernizations based on a number of factors, but in particular to address accessibility concerns. There's so much more information we could provide about all our schools that need modernizations in the 3-year capital plan, but unfortunately we are limited on time. So for more information, please see the full 3-year capital plan document on the division's website. This plan provides detailed information related to division demographics, growth, school enrollment, community profiles, and the needs of some of our schools in the modernization list. So what are our next steps? The Board of Trustees will decide on whether they will approve this plan. Once approved, the plan will be submitted for consideration to Alberta Education. Alberta Education will review the plan alongside other school divisions and their priorities, and this plan will then inform capital investment decisions by the province for budget 2026. So thank you for taking the time to view this presentation.